Today on our show, we're talking about The Damned, the new book by Cullen Bunn. We visit Chicago Comics and talk about Free Comic Book Day, all that plus Stan Lee, right here on Chuckload of Comics. Hello and welcome to Chuckload of Comics. My name is Chuck Lindsay.
I'm Shauna Lindsay.
Okay, so we're back. We took a week off. We didn't do a show last week. You might have noticed. You probably didn't notice because you didn't really watch the show anyway. But we were at C2E2 last week and it was freaking awesome.
So great.
It's such a good time. We went there all 3 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, open to close. It was great. We what did we do? We cosplayed.
Saturday.
Yeah. Shauna did a Hellboy costume. I did this weird warrior troll thing that I kind of made up. That was badass. Saturday was a madhouse.
Oh my gosh, it was like shoulder to shoulder people, but it was so much fun.
It was great. Beer was flowing and everybody was. Good times were had by all.
Lots of cool panels to see.
Panels,
lots of great.
God, shit. We saw Mike Coulter. We saw the Luke Cage panel. We saw
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio had an awesome panel. We got our picture taken with Vincent D'Onofrio. Me, Shauna, my brother Andy. That was tons of fun.
Best panel by far though was Will Wheaton. So great.
I'm a Will Wheaton fan,
yes,
man.
Yes,
I didn't
so
think I would be a huge Will Wheaton fan, but man, hearing the guy talk, he was so engaging, fun. So if you ever have a chance to see Will Wheaton, you should do it.
Check out his YouTube
will
show
be awesome.
too.
You guys got a YouTube show. He talks about
be.
tabletop gaming and stuff. That's dope, funny. He's a super cool dude. So anyway, next year, they've already announced the date for C2E2 next year. 2018, it's going to be April 6th through the 8th.
That's early, but
It's
hey,
earlier than
whatever.
usual.
We'll take
Usually
it.
it's later in April. So anyway, go to C2E2 next year.
Speaking of C2E2 though, like some other things that happened, we lucked out with some
Oh my God.
really cool interviews that we're going to share with you over the next few episodes. Well, several episodes, but
Yeah, we got tons of sit-down interviews with, what kind of people?
Chuck Soule and Humans fame and
You sat down with
Rod Reese.
Rod Reese from
Joel Jones.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Luke Ross, the legendary Luke Ross, illustrator extraordinaire. We sat down and talked to him about Darth Maul and other things that he's working on.
Zach Kaplan from
Zach
Eclipse.
Kaplan from Eclipse, the new book Eclipse.
Isaac Goodhart from Postal.
That was a
all
fun
of her
interview.
favorite books. We got actual interviews with these people. It's pretty cool.
So all of those to come and very, 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 very soon.
Yeah.
We'll start showing them as we feel like it.
So keep watching.
Yeah. Speaking of cool interviews, we visited Chicago Comics. We've talked about them in the past. It's our favorite comic book store. We went to talk about Free Comic Book Day.
Coming up this Saturday.
Free Comic Book Day, May 6th. It's the first Saturday in May every single year. It's always Free Comic Book Day where they go. They give out free comics.
They're free. No strings attached. Just free comics.
So we went to our favorite store, Chicago Comics, talked to the manager, Rafael Espinoza. Thank you very much for sitting down and talking to us, Rafael. So here's what he had to say about Free Comic Book Day. Hey guys, we're here at Chicago Comics, our favorite comic book store in the entire city of Chicago. We're here with Rafael, store manager. We're going to be talking about Free Comic Book Day. So, how's it going, Rafael?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. That's a mic. So, Free Comic Book Day. The name sounds too good to be true. It can't be what it sounds.
It's actually exactly what it sounds like. It's free comics, and every major publisher in the comic industry puts out a free comic, sometimes two free comics. And people come in every first Saturday in May, and they can pick, depending on the store, they can pick 1 to however many they allow. And usually there's new content. There's usually tie-ins to a big event that's happening in the superhero worlds. A lot of times it's a reprint of old classic comics. Underground, mainstream, horror, superheroes, it's all there. It's all there for all genders, all kinds of ages. And it's super great. And we'll be open from 11 to 8 o'clock, and we'll be slinging free comics all day.
Okay. So it's Saturday, May 6th this year.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about different things for different ages and different stuff. So they got comics for kids, they got comics for adults.
Yeah.
Any titles that are super hot this year that people might want to keep their eyes peeled for?
Yeah, actually, there's a Secret Empire tie-in that I guess happens between the 0 issue that came out a couple weeks ago and the #1 issue that's coming out soon.
I was wondering about that.
And I'll say that while I was reading it, I was not expecting the end of it.
You read it already?
I may have. I don't know if that's illegal for me to read it yet. But I did, and it was awesome. I don't think this has been done before, but there's a show called Fresh Off the Boat on network TV. And in the episode that airs the week before Free Comic Book Day, they, I believe, are making a comic. And so that comic is coming out for Free Comic Book Day. And I'm pretty excited about that because that's one of my favorite comedies out right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about a lot of the books.
Anything hot for the kiddies out there, or just?
That Fresh Off the Boat book is really good. It's an ABC Family oriented TV show, and it's very kid friendly. It's just about a middle class family that happen to become superheroes, and it's super fun. Yeah,
people can come in there and come in here and get that totally free.
Yes.
On Saturday, May 6th.
And there's always a Simpsons book. So for those of you who love classic Simpsons, there's always that. Yeah.
Nice. Any tips or pieces of advice for people who want to come? Maybe they've never come to Free Comic Book Day before. Like, should they show up early?
Yeah. So if you've never been to Free Comic Book Day, I do recommend you coming in closer to the beginning of the day than the end. Because it is free comics, we do give them away. So you have more options the earlier you come in. By the time you come in, if it's later in the evening, the options have dwindled a little bit. But we will always have options for you. They just may not be the ones that you want.
Right. So if people want that Secret Empire book, they should
come in early. Yeah, definitely.
And you open at what time?
11 o'clock on not September.
September.
On May 6th, Free Comic Book Day.
Cool. So that's this coming Saturday, people.
Yep.
Well, Raphael, that's about all I got. So yeah, come to Chicago Comics for Free Comic Book Day, Saturday, May 6th.
Yep. And it's 3244 North Clark in Lakeview, right off the Brown Line, Red Line, and Purple Line Belmont stop.
Yep, so that's on Clark Street, just north of Belmont.
Yep.
In Lakeview neighborhood. Well, man, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next Saturday.
All right. We'll see you there.
That was great.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Raphael.
man. Thanks for taking the time and talking to us. That was dope.
We'll see more of them on Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
We're gonna go there and shoot some video too. So
get there early, like Raphael said, man. If there are some books you want to get, because after the first few hours, the best books to get are gone.
Right.
So make sure you get there early to get the cool books that you want. Also, Chicago Comics, definitely show up early, because he didn't mention this, but I read it on Instagram that they're giving away free T-shirts.
Awesome.
And Raphael, if that offer no longer stands, I'm sorry I mentioned it, but according to Instagram, giving away free Chicago Comics T-shirts for the first small handful of people. So get there early. We're going to get there super early. We're going to be the first people in line.
Yep. Every year there is always a line though, so I mean, it doesn't mean you're not going to get whatever books you're looking for, but it could mean that.
What books are you looking for?
Secret Empire.
Oh my God, we read issue 0 of Secret Empire. It's incredible.
Yep.
We're guaranteed to review that coming up. It's gonna be one of the coolest events since Secret Wars.
So there's 0 came out a couple weeks ago or last week, and then there's this one coming out on Free Comic Book Day. It's gonna be in between 0 and #1.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's 0.5 or something. Who knows?
Yeah, crazy shit's happening with Captain America.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I Hate Image is
Scotty
an
Young.
awesome book that's coming out. We've talked about I Hate Fairyland in past episodes. He's doing a book where it's Gertrude, same girl from I Hate Fairyland, is going through all the other Image Comics books and just killing people. She's going to Saga and Walking Dead and all these,
so cool.
and Spawn,
gosh.
just slashing people away. So I Hate Image
awesome.
is one you definitely want to get. I want to get Ninja Turtles, The Prelude to Dimension X. I read the Ninja Turtles books, and I really like them. They're fun. So they're doing kind of like Secret Empire, they're doing a prelude to a big upcoming summer event. So Ninja Turtles.
And these, not only are these books free, but you can't get them anywhere else. So it's not like, oh, today they're free, and then you can buy them tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. They're just you're only available on Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
So if there's something you want or some kind of tie-in you need to get, you gotta go.
You gotta go.
Saturday, May
It's
6th.
free.
It's
Why
free.
would you not go get it for free? They're giving you free shit.
Yeah.
Go get it.
And it's not just for the kids, it's for adults too.
Yeah. Wear a costume, show up early, have fun.
They actually have some adult-only books too, so usually every year. So
Yeah, yeah. And there's stuff for the kids too. There's, like I said, there's always a Simpsons book. There's The Tick has got a book. Remember The Tick? The Tick cartoon was Tick cartoon in comic book form. So go to freecomicbookday.com for a full list of all the books that are going to be there. And yeah, May 6th, this coming Saturday, be there. Speaking of books, let's review a book.
well, maybe we should, since it's called Chuckload
Yes.
of Comics, and
This
we
week,
do review books.
This week we're talking about a sick book called The Damned. Oh God, I love this book.
Written by Cullen Bunn, one of our favorite writers.
Cullen Bunn, Brian Hurt does the art, Bill Crabtree does the coloring, and it's a spectacular book. We happened across this book in a kind of an unusual way. We were actually talking to Cullen Bunn and Brian
cool
Hurt.
way, yes.
We were sitting down chatting with him, having an interview, and we were talking about Harrow County and Darth Maul, books that Cullen Bunn's working on. And he said, you got to check out this book, The Damned. So I'd never heard of it, but well, here, let me show you. We're going to show you a little clip of that talk right here.
So The Damned is actually it's a return to form with
There it
my
is.
boy Brian Hurt here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Hurt.
Yeah. Brian, this was my first professional work, was The Damned 10 years ago with Brian, and we had to kind of put it on the shelf for a while, but we are coming back to The Damned. We have an ongoing series that we're launching. This trade, it's the original series that we put out. It's almost 6 issues worth of material, all in full color now. It was black and white in the day. Now it's full color for $10. So $10 trade to introduce you to that world. And then the week of Free Comic Book Day, a new #1 of the ongoing comes out. It's
Sweet.
It's going to be a $1 issue. So for $11, you get 7 issues worth of material. You can get right into this world. And this is Brian and I did a book called The Six Gun, which if you're familiar with,
This, I'm ready with all the
man, you are.
all
You
the
just walk
visual
around with
aids.
that. If you're familiar with Six Gun, you're gonna love The Damned. I gotta say, if you like Harrow County, then you're gonna like The Six Gun. You're gonna like The Damned.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They're all books that are very true to who I am as a creator, true to who Brian is. The Six Gun and Damned, true to who Brian is as a creator. And I think it's the kind of thing. If you like one, you're gonna like these.
Wow.
He said it all.
Six Gun, The Damned, Harrow County, and about a million other things that you guys are working on. So thanks a lot for taking
Thanks,
time
man.
to talk to us, man.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming to C2E2.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Okay, so there's a lot more to that interview. We're
How
gonna show.
cool was that?
Yeah, it's pretty badass. We just snagged him. He was cool. He talked to us.
They weren't even supposed to be there, but they're not on the bill.
Yeah, they weren't
so
on the bill. We just
happened
saw
to-
them
Yeah.
and grabbed them and abducted them and chatted with them.
And they were
And they
very
were
nice.
super cool about it. So there's a lot more to that interview. There's a whole chunk about Harrow County and stuff that we're going to show on a later episode. But yeah, I'm so glad we took their advice, and I'm so glad they mentioned this book because The Damned is damned awesome. Normally I wouldn't, I don't know. I'm not into the noir kind of stuff usually, the gangster stuff. But once I found out what this book was about, and I opened it up and I saw the amazing art by Brian Hurt, I was blown away. So, what is it about? The book takes place in the middle of Prohibition, height of Prohibition in America. Picture The Untouchables meets Hellboy.
Oh, that's a good synopsis.
That
I
kind of
like
wraps. That is what this
Yeah,
book is about. On the surface, you think it's just a gangster book, a book about prohibition and gangs and like Chicago or New York type stuff, but it's not. It is, but the reason it's not is because all these gangs in the middle of Prohibition, these Al Capone motherfucking gangs, are run by demons. Demons are the head of all the gangs, which is dope. The art in this just makes it really cool. The demons are written, they're drawn very, almost lovably. They look great. So anyway, so it's the demons are running all the gangs in the middle of
so you've got
Prohibition.
the demon families that
Yeah,
are
demon
button
warring
heads and-
demon
yep.
families, but they don't like normally. They'd be trafficking in hooch and cigarettes and booze and speakeasies and shit like that. But in this book, they traffic in human souls. So they are what they're bootlegging and stuff are people's souls. People sell their souls to the devil or wherever you do, and so they're trafficking in human souls. Human souls have a value, and that's what they're always warring over. It's a really interesting concept. So that's going on.
Yeah. Main
else?
character, Eddie. He is one of these humans that made a deal with one of these demons, and he actually, when he dies, we're not quite sure exactly what his deal was, but when he dies, if he gets touched by another human, he comes back to life. So that's a pretty interesting concept.
Eddie's kind of the go-between. He's kind of this, not really a do-boy or an errand boy, but he's kind of in cahoots with all the different demon gangs. Because he's damned. He can't really be killed. He can be killed, but then as soon as somebody touches his corpse, the person who touched the corpse dies, and he comes back to life. So Eddie comes back to life. So Eddie's kind of immortal in a way. So all the demons kind of trust him and kind of don't trust him, but they use him for their own nefarious demon schemes. So it's kind of cool. The story is basically Eddie dealing and having dealings with all these different gangs that are run by demons. It's an awesome, awesome book. The concept's fantastic.
Yeah.
The art...
Sorry. I was just going to say that, so this trade that we have here that actually came out about 10 years ago is when they started writing it. Cullen...
Good point.
His first writing, apparently.
Cullen Bunn, and yes, it's their first time working together. I don't know if it was the very first book that Cullen Bunn ever wrote, but it was definitely the first time that they collaborated. And
yeah, so this...
It's like 10 years old,
yeah,
right?
But they reprinted it out because they're starting the series over again, and the first issue, which we have a copy of, comes out on Free Comic Book Day.
There
and
it all comes full circle.
It's only $1. That's it. $1. Thank you, Omni Press.
Yep. So you can pick up the trade, and it's actually a really cheap trade. You get 5 issues?
Yep.
In one book for $9.99. And most usually a trade will cost you like $20. This is only a $10 trade, and it's thick.
Yep.
You get the whole story in this trade, and then on Free Comic Book Day, pop in your local comic shop. You can pick up issue number 1. They're starting an ongoing run of The Damned. It kicks off on Free Comic Book Day. You get it for $1. And it's not a flimsy issue. It's a full issue for $1. So get it. The Damned is damned cool. Like I was gonna say, the art's fantastic. Brian Hurt's art's sick. It's you would expect a book about gangsters and demons and stuff to be this really gritty, dirty, grungy kind of art, but it's not. I mean, it's very colorful and thick lines. It's the demons are almost cute. I mean, they're great characters. You really get sucked into this world from like page 1. So check it out. Check out The Damned. It's fantastic. Go to get this issue number 1 on Free Comic Book Day. What else can I say about The Damned? Not much, huh?
It's damned good. So
it's damn good. You should totally pick it up. So that's about all we got. Shoot, I forgot to tell you earlier in the show. If you're watching our show, please take just a second, click on the subscribe button. We could use some subscribers, so just take 2 seconds, click on that button. You see it. It's right there in front of you right now. Just move your mouse down, click. You're done. And I won't ask you to ever do it ever again. I'm sorry, unless you're watching on your phone. I assume people are watching this on their computers because that's what people do. So yeah, subscribe to our channel. We've got an email. If you send us an email, ask us some questions, we will read them on the air. Our email is chuckloadofcomics@gmail.com. Leave us a comment on YouTube underneath the video. Let us know what you think. If you read The Damned, let us know what you think about The Damned. If you watch any of our episodes, let us know what you think about the book, man. Go out and get the book. If you go to Chicago Comics, leave a comment. Say how great they were.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Go there and give Raphael a hard time. So that's about all we got for today's episode. You got anything else?
No.
All right, we're going to leave you, since we were at C2E2, we're going to leave you with something really, really special. We saw Stan Lee do a nice long panel on the small stage. We're just going to leave you with about 5 minutes of what he had to talk about. So stick around, enjoy the Stan Lee video, and come back next week when we're going to be broadcasting from Chicago Comics and Free Comic Book Day.
Woo-hoo!
Next week's all Free Comic Book Day, next week's episode. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Here's Stan Lee.
These people are amazing. The vibe is amazing, and I'm sure you've been to Chicago many times.
I love Chicago.
Oh my God, he loves you guys.
Hey, I love the city, and I love the fans, and I love everything about Chicago.
So, what's it like a day to day as Stan Lee?
Well, you wake up in the morning. Your wife yells at you for a little bit, and you have some breakfast. Then you go to the office, where the people at the office yell at you for a while. And then you try to look busy to impress everybody, and then you go home. yell a little more, have dinner, and go to sleep.
Yeah, well,
No, it's not like that.
yeah, we wish.
I'm really the luckiest guy in the world because I work with artists and writers and producers and directors, and they're so interesting, and there's so much fun being with. And there's always some new comic book that's coming out, or some new movie that's coming out, and most important of all, some new cameo for me that's coming out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
I know, and every time I know everyone, when they're seeing a movie, they're like, where's he gonna pop up? Like, where is it? Like, everyone anticipates it, like, you know, where's Waldo? But it's like, where's Stan, you know?
Wait till you see the new one, what is it, the Brigade, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I have 2 cameos in it. So after you've seen the first one, don't get up and go home. There's another one coming.
Whoa, you heard it here first, guys, at C2E2. You know, there's so many things, you know, coming from New York, you know, you grew up in New York, you know, you started writing at 14 years old, you know. Was that like always a passion, writing?
Was that what?
What was that always a passion, writing, growing up?
Well, no, my passion really was reading more than writing.
Reading, yes.
I loved to read. I would read anything. The label on a ketchup bottle, anything that had words, I liked to read. And then I was looking for a job, and I heard there was a job open at a publishing company for a guy to be an assistant. And I applied for the job because I was just out of high school and I wanted something to do. And I found out that they published sport magazines and adventure magazines, men's magazines, and comic books. And the job was open in the comic book department. There were 2 guys, you may have heard of them, Jack Kirby, Joe Simon. And they were running the comic book department at that time. And they needed an assistant, some guy to go down and get them their lunch when they got hungry, erase the pages. See, the pages were always drawn in pencil. Then the inker would go over the drawings in ink. But somebody had to then erase the page so that none of the pencil lines showed. So it was a very highly technical job, and luckily I was able to handle that. And that's what I did. I ran errands and I erased the pages. But little by little, they'd ask me to write a sentence or a line, or, hey, we need some dialogue for this guy. We don't have time. You put the dialogue in. So I started writing. And then, I don't know how it happened or why, but for some reason, these 2 guys, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, who were geniuses, but for some reason, they left the company. I didn't know whether they quit or were fired or what, or if it was because of me. They didn't. The way I erased the pages, I don't know. And I was all alone. So the next thing I knew, I was the comic book department. And our publisher didn't really care about the comics. He was interested in his other magazines. So I was able to do whatever I wanted. And the next thing I know, I'm sitting here on stage in Chicago and boring the hell out of you people with this story.
No way. This is like gold for us. This is like memories for a lifetime. I know, Jose, you're a huge fan. What was like your first comic that like you remember being like?
I think the first thing I did, I came up with a name called The Destroyer. He was either a hero or a villain. I think he was probably a hero. And he destroyed things. I don't know.
The Destroyer.
He was my first superhero. It didn't last very long.
And, you know, I know a lot of people ask you about Spider-Man. Is there one hero or villain that you wish people would ask you about?
Me?
Oh!
No, I like answering about Spider-Man. I like talking about all of them, really, but Spider-Man probably is the most popular.
Right.
And the best known all over the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty impressed with him.
Yeah.
That little guy.